Hey guys, welcome back to Poetry Breakdowns. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Joe Gorchi. I am a beat maker with over 1,000 beats across all beat marketplaces and YouTube. And I do this channel to break down beats that I make so you can get an understanding of how to build them up from scratch for yourself. And today we've got an Olivia Rodrigo type beat. And the key aspects of this, it's piano, it's pop rock, it's emotional, yet driving. We're going to try and get all of them characteristics, talk about the instrumentation choices, and hopefully by watching this video to the end, you'll know how to build a beat like this for yourself. Now, there's a mixture of Logic, and there's also native instruments, and also real recorded guitar in this track today. So let's start at the beginning, because that's the best way of understanding how to build up a beat, and that is the piano. Something that Olivia Rodrigo is very well known for in a lot of tracks. Where it starts piano and it gets driving. Driver's License is a very good example of that, for example. Now, for the piano, let's just quickly play the piano chords that we are doing. Something that's very common with Olivia Rodrigo type beats is that minor finish in a chord progression. So this is just C major. Also G major works really well for this. And what you can do very easily, if I can give you a very simple chord progression, if you go through the C scale, so you do C, let's say you do a minor, a G, and if you end on an F, finishing off with an F minor, that's a really good way to transition back to the start of the chord progression, which is something that I've done here. Now, as for the piano, I've actually used The Gentleman by Native Instruments. And by the way, every single VST that I use in this video, I'll leave a link below if you want to get hold of it for yourself. Link in the description and link in the comments as well. I'll pin it so you can check it out for yourself after this video. So yeah, The Gentleman piano, I like it because it's upright. It suits the Olivia Rodrigo characteristic very well. And this is just a standard vintage compressed setting that we've got it on. And we've also got the lows as well. It's the same piano, just playing the lows, so we get a nice lot of bass coverage. So the next thing I added in was the drums to get a real sense, because once we've got the piano, which does the early parts of the song, we want to add that energy. A lot of it comes from the drums. So this is the drum section here, which I'll firstly play by itself so you can hear it. Now, for the drums, we are again using native instruments. We've got the Abbey Road Modern Drummer. I really love this for pop rock, indie pop, and indie rock and alternative style music and productions. I use this a lot for that. I used to use the Abbey Road 80s drummer, but the Modern Drummer has got a bit more of a clean, crisp punch to it, which is really good for pop rock music. And again, I just like to separate MIDI so you've got more creative control over panning and mixing the drums. But it's a pretty simple drum beat, which with the piano, you get a real sense of the energy that we're starting to convey. So you can, that's what it is. Now we need to add a running bass line, because the running bass line really helps add that driving energy. So running bass line, kind of like, you know, very simple, just like this. Now, again, common theme, native instruments, using the prime bass. Now, what I've actually done is I've gone for the 8th accent 4 muted, but then I've also accompanied that with the bass picked. Don't be afraid to blend sounds together if you haven't got the exact sound that you want in any instrument. The reason why I've done this with the bass, because the muted gives a real nice kind of subby, clean low end to it. But then the picked bass that I've added in adds that real nice bright crispness, which helps the bass cut through the mix so you can hear it. So this is the muted by itself. And then add the picked. And with the picked, I did add a pedalboard effect. I added the high drive because, again, it's kind of got a little bit punk left in of her style of production. She was very pop punk on the first album that she released, which did really well. She's conveyed more into pop rock, and this is why I've added the high drive, just to give that kind of real nice distorted element to the bass line, because it really complements her style of production, which when you add it with the piano sounds like this. Now we start layering in guitars. We've got to really start adding that energy. A lot of this production value that we're getting in terms of the energy is coming from the guitars. A lot of movement, a lot of different ideas going on. So this is the first guitar that I added in. Just nice, muted. This really supports the bass. Very good for builds as well, by the way, from the pre-chorus before you get that big hit in the chorus. As you can see, I've done that here, which we'll listen to in a second. But as for the sounds, Guitar Rig 7 FX, and I believe this was the AA Complete Rig Lead 800. Again, I'm not someone who's afraid to use presets. Presets are very good and they're very helpful. It saves a lot of time. And I love Guitar Rig 7 FX. This is my go-to for guitars. Not only are the presets good, but also if you can learn to adjust and create your own sounds, all these are really good sounds and really good emulations. And then Guitar 2, we got this. First little bit of movement that we're hearing, and again, Guitar Rig 7 FX, it's the exact same preset, but just something with a little bit more movement to it. And then we add in the third guitar, same sound again. Then we added in a fourth guitar element right here. Now this one is different. This is Logic Pro X, so we're just using an Amp Designer Modern Classic. Nice little bit of rock added. And then lastly, this has got to be my favourite Logic guitar sound. It's the big spinner. It somehow appears on a lot of my productions for some reason. Don't know why. But let's have a listen to it. Okay, so we've got that added in, and all the guitars together sounds like this. Add it in with everything we've got so far, sounds like this. Okay, we're still not done yet. The last thing we need is a string section. So for the strings, we are using Omnisphere. This is a go-to of mine for strings, especially as we have the Hollywood Studio string section, one of my favorite sounds for strings. And this is just a simple string add that we added in just for the chorus. Again, very poppy, very bright, just works really well, which when you put it in with this, you get the final result. Now, one production technique that I've done which has really helped is using sample delay for the strings and the guitars. So one guitar has a sample delay with the 550 to the right, the other one has 550 to the left. Not only does this create a spread in the guitars and the strings, but it also acts as a doubling effect, so it increases the overall sound, making the guitar sound bigger, making the string sound bigger. Just a really good effect. And then for mastering, I have run it through Logic's mastering quickly. I really love using this. It works super effectively just to get a nice balance in the final mix. And then we're mixing and mastering everything right through Ozone 12, my go-to for mastering. And as you can see, we've just got equalizer on, increasing the lows and highs. The impact plugin, which is really good for controlling dynamics and adding a little bit of punch throughout the mix. An imager just to create a little bit of space. This clarity thing is a very simple plugin to add a little bit more of that crisp high end without making it too bright and tinny. And then stabilizer, dynamic EQ, and finishing off with a limiter in the maximizer. But yeah, guys, when you put it all together, let's listen to it once more. And again, just before I play the final sound, just remember that every single plugin that you've seen in this video is in the link in the description, so you can check it out for yourself. And yeah, without further ado, this is the end result. I hope you enjoyed this Olivia Rodrigo beat breakdown. If you've got any more questions, drop them below. But till next time, guys, keep making music, and I will see you in the next video.